2.5 minutes. This camera's still not straight. I wonder if the jello is gone. But everything looks good. A little bit of fail safe when I got into the wrong orientation. So it's clear that I still need to do some work with the satellite antenna, because it's really not doing what it's supposed to do. Well, it's being blocked by the battery. So I think maybe when I put the undercarriage and the gimbal back on, I can put the battery in the undercarriage, which will mean that the let me take this off. See what I'm talking about here. So at the moment, when I get at this angle to myself, the battery is blocking the satellite receiver and unfortunately also the main receiver antenna here, which means I go into failsafe, and in that flight it went into failsafe, started coming home, which is not fantastic. So what I need to do is, when I put the undercarriage back on, gimbal back on, we get some better video, and that means the battery can go underneath here in the compartment in the undercarriage, which again will make things more stable. Good for photography, not good for fun, but that will mean that my line of sight here will be much better. I may want to raise this up, put it up on the main plate or something. Let's see, I'm sure I can do something a little better with it, but on the whole it's looking very good. The FPV is working extremely well. Here's the FPV setup, so the screen working nicely. Other than the fact that it's not an FPV screen, warning anyone who buys this monitor, it is not FPV ready. It does go to blue or black screen, depending on which menu option you choose, when it loses signal, so it doesn't show static. Very, very dangerous. Anyone on RC groups will know exactly the thread I'm talking about, which I've started on there. So DX18 working perfectly as normal, and then here's the business end. We've got the 7-turn helical from Amway, and just these cheapy mushrooms from I think they were from Hobby King, either Hobby King or Banggood. I think Hobby King, and they work extremely well for close in Omni. And this is the real deal, the FR632. Awesome diversity receiver. So we've got 2 antennas on here. It will automatically switch between the 2, and it works absolutely fantastically. The omnidirectional for, I'm not sure if I'm using the right word there, but the this will pick up from any direction, any 360 degrees, whereas this one is very, very directional. So when I'm flying, I line it up with where I'm flying to, roughly, and I move it around as I fly, and it works very, very well. Gives me extremely long range. Flying out to the down the road there just now was, I don't know, 1.4, 1.5 kilometers. No breakup in signal whatsoever, and this is just a 200 milliwatt transmitter, so don't have a lot of power, and it works out way further than my 2.4 radio at the moment. Once I resolve the 2.4, I may obviously need to upgrade this to maybe a 600. Let's see how we go. Oh, and obviously the ground station needs a little bit of power, so what I've done there is just it's actually an old 12 volt UPS battery. I think I've done about 6 or 8 flights on this so far, and there is no drop in voltage, so I think this will probably run for, I don't know, half a summer or something of flying. Just testing things out at the moment. It's not getting a great deal of use, but it's holding up extremely well. Yeah, transmitter, as I mentioned, is DX18 from Spectrum. Everything working very, very well. Nothing to say there really. Super happy with that. So there we go. I think probably by the next video it'll be a slightly different configuration on the quad. Sorry, I didn't mention the camera. I got my attempt at jello removal. Now obviously I don't know yet how this video turned out, but so far all of the videos on this Mobius have been disastrous on jello. This seemed to show some good results indoors, but every time I use it outdoors, I've only used it twice now, and it hasn't got rid of the jello. It's rather frustrating. So props are really balanced. I've even actually taken to actively balancing them. These are the 1038s from DJI, and they're usually extremely well balanced. These ones have seen a little bit of battle, so I did balance them. Hasn't changed the jello at all. When I have the GoPro on the gimbal, I get 0 jello, so it may just be a Mobius thing and I've got to retire the old girl. But this is a cheapy $15 FPV camera working really well. Obviously we've got the NASA V2 in here. All standard DJI motors, etc. Nothing changed here. I got a little bit of lighting on the quad, just for good measure. We got some white on the front and red on the rear. It's quite handy. Spectrum AR8000 receiver does the job fantastically well, and 4.5 amp hour 3-cell lipos on top. I've not felt the need to go to 4-cell. These 3 cells fly all day long. They're great. Standard 30 amp opto. I've not gone with the latest DJI powertrain upgrade. This is the original I can't remember what it's called now, but the self-tightening propellers, etc. on the new one. I'm on the traditional ones, but with the 1038 props, which work really well. I tried the 8-inch, didn't like them at all. I didn't get very good punch out. Maybe my battery's a bit heavy, with the undercarriage also at the time was maybe a bit heavy. But these 10-inch, very happy with them. Except for the jello, which I can't get rid of. So there we go. iOSD Mini. I've actually still got the camera gimbal controller in here, and the PMU there, all standard. So yeah, there we are, working very well. For the iOSD Mini, battery voltage, heading to home. We got the distance from home, the altitude, height above or below home, the azimuth. Then we have the mode here. If I switch modes, we go altitude or we go GPS. We've got pitch and roll, as well as the artificial horizon in the middle. I'll give you a little demo. So it's a little bit backwards for those full-scale pilots, but it tells you what the quad is doing, so if it's pitched left or if it's pitched right. It takes a bit of getting used to if you fly full-scale. Then we have the horizontal velocity, number of satellites, the heading to the home point, and the vertical velocity as well. So if we're climbing, we're going up. If we're descending, we're going down. We can see the nice little triangle for the home point, which my home point was actually just over there on the corner of the patio. So there we are. It's first shot at FPV. As I say, I've only had about 8 flights out of it so far, but I'm very happy with it. So let's see if we can get another flight. I've got another battery indoors. If the jello is not present, then these will be quite nice with the melting snow. Let's see. Okay, right, then come and visit us soon at flyingfornature.com, and I'm going to try and get the full review and spec up for the DJI F450. It's been a long time that I've had the quad and not really done a full write-up, so I owe you guys that. Okay, come visit us soon. Thanks, bye.